This is day 2 of solving quadratics by factoring. Okay, so on this one, you want to always first check to see if there's a greatest common factor you can take out. If there's not a greatest common factor that you can take out, then you may have to do the slip and slide method. Okay, so on this first one, we have a 3 that we can factor out of the whole thing. So 3x squared divided by 3 is x squared. 9x divided by 3 is 3x. Negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4. From there, what's in parentheses, can we factor that again? Yes, because we can do basic factoring with that. So that 3 that we took out, we just pull it down. Okay, what multiplies to give you negative 4 and adds to give you a positive 3 is going to be 4 and negative 1. So now we have 3 different factors here. So we're going to set each of them equal to 0. So 3 equals 0, x plus 4 equals 0, x minus 1 equals 0. Now 3 doesn't actually equal 0, so that just cancels off. It cannot be a root. For the other two, you just want to solve just like what we did on the last note sheet. So we're going to subtract 4 over. So x equals a negative 4. We're going to add 1 over. X equals a positive 1. So our solution set is negative 4 and positive 1. Okay, on example 2, do we have a greatest common factor we can take out? Yes, we can take a 5 out of everything. So 5x squared divided by 5 is x squared. Negative 20x divided by 5 is negative 4x. Negative 60 divided by 5 is negative 12. Okay, from there, what multiplies to give you negative 12 and adds to give you a negative 4 is negative 6 and 2. So that 5 that we took out, we just pull it down. We have x minus 6 and x plus 2. Then we set each of them equal to 0. 5 equals 0, cancels. X minus 6 equals 0, we just add 6 over. X plus 2 equals 0, we subtract 2 over. So our solution set is negative 2 and 6. Okay, on this next one here, we don't have a greatest common factor we can take out, so we have to do the slip and slide method. So we want to take our 2 and slip it down here to the end. So we have x squared plus 3x, and 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Then you can factor that. What multiplies to give you negative 10 and adds to give you 3 is a positive 5 and a negative 2. So x plus 5, x minus 2. From there, since we're doing slip and slide method, we multiply times 2 up here, so after you factor, you have to divide by 2. 5 over 2 does not simplify, but we don't want a fraction, so we take the denominator and we slide it up in front of the variable. So that becomes 2x plus 5. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so we have x minus 1. And these are going to be our factors. So now we'll set those equal to 0. And we'll solve. So first we'll subtract 5 over. So x equals a negative 5. I'm sorry, 2x equals a negative 5. And then we'll divide by 2. So negative 5 over 2. On this one, we just want to add 1 over. So x equals a positive 1. So our answers here are negative 5 over 2 and 1. That's our solutions. Example 4, we don't have a greatest common factor, so we can have to do slip and slide here. So slip the 8 down to the end. So we have x squared minus 22x, and 8 times 5 is 40. What multiplies to give you 40 and adds to give you negative 22 is negative 20 and negative 2. So x minus 20, x minus 2. Since we multiply times 8 up here, here we have to divide by 8. Okay, these don't divide out evenly, but they do simplify down. So we want to simplify down our fractions. So 20 over 8, they both divide by 4. So that turns into 5 over 2. 2 over 8 both divides by 2. So that turns into 1/4. Now we don't want fractions though, so take the denominators and slide them in front of the variables. So that turns into 2x minus 5 and 4x minus 1. Next thing, set them equal to 0 and solve. So 2x minus 5 equals 0, 4x minus 1 equals 0. So on this, I want to add 5 over and divide by 2. So that turns into x equals a 5 over 2. This one we want to add 1 over and divide by 4. That turns into 1/4. So our solution set here is 1/4, 5 over 2. Okay, the note sheet, the rest of the notes is just doing the same exact thing that we just did up here. So always check to see if there's a greatest common factor that you can take out first. If you don't have a greatest common factor, then you need to do the slip and slide method if you have a number in front of the x squared. Looking through the notes, I'm trying to see if there's any special cases here that we may need to go over, but it looks like everything is just like these few problems right there. Okay, there may be a time that you have to do both the greatest common factor and slip and slide. That just means you take out the greatest common factor, and then after that, then you would do the slip and slide method, and you still are just solving it the same way. Okay, if you want to fill in the rest of the note sheet, I do have that link attached on the website. Just click on the main heading and it will take you straight to the note sheet to be able to fill in all of the rest of it. Okay, but I really think that that's all that you need for the video. Oh, okay, well on the back side right here, where on number 9, where it has this -2 on the right hand side, well first, just like what we did on the last note sheet, you just want to add that 2 over, so it becomes 3x squared plus 7x plus 2 equals 0, and then you solve it from there. So then you would do slip and slide after that. Same thing with all of these down here at the bottom. You just always want to move everything over to the left-hand side first, then see if there's a greatest common factor you can take out. If you can't take out a greatest common factor, then do slip and slide or whatever method that you need to do. Okay, but that pretty much sums up the second day.